Good morning, friends. Hello. And hello, Lou. How are you?
Good
This
morning.
thing has started up again. The whole thing, the picture has moved
Oh,
up
the
to the
picture went
top.
up again? Yeah. I've
Uh,
contacted them. Hopefully they'll give me some idea how to fix that.
yeah. Friends, this is just an inside joke between Lou and myself. I can only see my chin and nothing else on the screen. Lou is in the studio and we'll get this fixed. But as far as you're concerned, you can probably see all of me and all of Lou.
Yep,
So,
everything.
how are you? Welcome today.
I'm very good.
Today we're going to be doing chapter 16, verse 8 and 9. And as you remember, Krishna is talking about the asuras, the people that have negative qualities in them, demonic qualities. And verse 8 essentially says, quote, they say the world of people is untruthful. They meaning the Asuric people. They say that the world and people in the world are untruthful without any ethical basis. That's how the world is, that's how the people are. They're godless and they're born purely of the union of a man and a woman. They're driven by passion, nothing else. This is what Krishna says that the asuras believe of everybody. So it's clear, right, that an asura, a demon, a person with negative qualities, portrays and projects onto the world and other people what he thinks he is, and therefore they think that others are like that. So he mentions them being untruthful because a person lies himself and feels that that's the way to get ahead in life. Then he thinks that everybody's like that, so it's okay to do.
Yep.
Cultures, countries, societies, maybe even certain people from certain sects or religions even feel that it's okay to do this to another religion, another sect, another culture because they're different from me. Therefore, it's okay to lie, it's okay to cheat, it's okay to hurt them. So he says the world and people in the world is untruthful. The whole world is untruthful. They have without ethical basis. They're godless. Now, we've seen this, right? When another country colonizes another weaker country because they have assets of oil or diamonds or gold or labor, which they then pick up and then enslave and make them slaves. They feel that because they're of a different religion or different color or whatever, that they're godless, that it's okay to do that to them. So this applies not just to you as an individual, but to all individuals who believe this, and to all countries and cultures and societies and religions. So, if each one of us tries to change a little bit within ourselves, we can change the whole world. So, the asuras themselves live a life that is untruthful, unethical, godless. They preach the same to others. They feel that when their children are growing up, they say, it's okay. How old is your child? Oh, he's only such and such, just to get past it. The child hears this. The child says, okay, that's what I've got to do. They, the asuras, say that the world of people tell lies because they project their own characteristics onto others. They believe, not only do they do it, they believe lying is a necessary part to get ahead. So a better and more convincing liar does better in the Asuric world. So in business, in companies, the boss actually says, okay, you're a better salesman. You are going to get a promotion. You are able to sell more stock as a stock representative, whatever. You're able to sell more ships. You're able to convince, when you go as a diplomatic person from this country to the next, you're able to convince them to do this, that, or the other country. Whereas the Shastras, the scriptures, say, excuse me, that proper behavior, according to the dharma that is put down by the scriptures, produces desirable results and results in punya. Punya is blessings, the way to moksha and self realization. Whereas improper behavior, such as what the asuras do, results in adharma, adharma, undesirable results, and papa or sin. Asuras believe that the end which they need to secure their material pleasures justifies any means that they employ to get these pleasures. Lying, borrowing and not paying back, cheating, lying to somebody of the opposite sex just to get the pleasure for their senses in order to then drop them and hurt them. They feel that it's okay because what the heck, this world, I don't have to pay back. I won't get punished because when I die, everything, all debts are settled upon my death if I got away with it till I die. They don't believe that once the body dies, they're going to come back and they're going to have to pay the same price for their negative karmas in the future. They don't believe that. So there's the question of repayment of debt. They just say, get away with it in this lifetime in your head. If you stash away $1,000,000 and then you die, it goes to your kids. How you got there doesn't matter because you're dead and gone. You don't have to pay back the debt. But you know, and I know that that is not the case. If you believe that there's karma, there's reincarnation, there's a price to pay at some future point, then you will be ethical. You will be moral. For the Asuras, they don't believe in this. So they believe purely that this birth, they came to this birth only because of a union of a man and a woman. That's They don't believe anything about reincarnation, karma, why you chose this family, how, oh, that, who knows? That's just because a sperm and an ovum joined together to produce a fetus. Nothing to do with karma or reincarnation. Passion between a man and a woman alone is the cause of us living beings, is what they believe. Since there is no such thing as punya and papa, or blessings and sin, or good and bad, or karma, Asuras believe get what you can, grab it as soon as you can. So, no matter what one's religion is, what one is taught, what one is throughout one imbibes, our cultures, our family, society, friends, education, we still have our own vision of who am I and what is this world. That thought of who am I, let's call it the self view. And let's call what you think about the world as the worldview or what is God. Okay, self view is what am I? If a person thinks I'm a sinner, I'm worthless, when I think I am a sinner, I'll think that the world is full of sin and that God is the one who will punish me. Suppose self view produces maybe guilt to say, I'm a sinner, I've done bad things. Or something is lacking in me. I'm not rich. I'm not well developed. I'm not handsome. I'm not good looking. I'm not powerful. I'm not smart. Therefore, my world is one where I have to grab because it was not given to me as it was to somebody else who was born with it. He got lucky, I got unlucky. They don't believe in karma. They don't believe that he is lucky purely because he's got the benefits of a good karma from a previous life. They believe I got to grab. I have to take what I was denied because God was unfair to me. That's how they talk. I just grab it and take it because you deserve it. You're number one. As one progresses in one's view of the world, you develop a view that, hey, my world is good. I myself am good. I'm fine. It's in my hands. You only realize this as you develop yourself through this knowledge that you get. And you say, what am I complaining about? My life is good. I can improve my own self view. Then your self view improves. Then your worldview improves. Once your self view improves, your own worldview, the view of the world, starts to improve. World is an opportunity for more divine, to make it more divine, to spread the knowledge. And as that improves, your self view improves, then your worldview improves, then your God view improves, your view of God, what Brahman is, what this energy is, what this life force is, improves. These are steps. At a very high level, when you start to get there, you see that I, the self, is the same as the world and the same as God, that everything is one. The self, the world, and God is all one. Then there's no question about who's fair, who's unfair, why did I get this? You recognize that what you did is what you reap. What you sow is what you reap. Asuras believe that everything is propelled by desire, passion, and lust. So that's verse 8. Very quick, very simple. Verse 9 is very similar to verse 8. So verse 9 says, Holding this view, the ruined souls, the Atmans that are ruined, he says, Krishna says, of meager, poor intellect, of cruel actions, come forth as enemies for the destruction of the world. So, some key words that he has used here. And when he says meager or minor intellect, the Sanskrit is alpa, alpa, buddhi. Buddhi is intellect. Alpa means small buddhi. By
Mhm.
the way, alpa, ALP, means small in Sanskrit. And when we do our field trips, right, Lou,
Right.
we will see that original Indians traveled out of India after the
Yes.
Mahabharat War, and they went east, west, north, south, all over. Some of them came towards Switzerland and Germany. And when they saw these mountains, they decided, because most of them came from the northern part of of India,
Mm.
where they were settled in the Himalayas. When they saw these mountains, they said, hey, these are like the mountains we left behind, the Himalayas. So they called them the Alpa.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, so that's why the name Alps, because Alpa means small. So the Alps are small Himalayas. Anyway, here he says Alpa Buddhiya. So holding the view, the ruined souls of meager intellect, of cruel actions, come forth as enemies for the destruction of the world. So here he talks about enemies of the world, number one, are very much there. They're very much there. They're not absent. And they're not, you may not see them, they're very much there for the destruction. They're not there for the construction of the world. They're not there to have the world progress, but they're there for the destruction. It brings to my mind those who say, who cares about the world and the earth? It'll manage. Doesn't matter. You can throw garbage there, you can destroy it, whatever. It'll heal itself for the destruction of the world. The Asuras think that way. They're ruined souls, and they have cruel actions, and they have alpa intellect, meager intellect. So the demoniac or the asuric have alpa buddhi, alpa small buddhi, intellect. They consider that the world and humans are purely products of lust and union between man and woman. We did this in the last verse. They
right.
think everything is to be gotten for themselves. They just take, acquire and enjoy. Get it and enjoy it. That's all that matters. They don't think about what the future is, what the results are, what the karmic influences are. The They ruin themselves and they ruin others around them and in the world. They don't care about the world or the environment. Like a drunk driver causing an accident, they themselves, that driver is drunk, he doesn't know what he's doing, his intellect is diminished because of the level of alcohol that he has in his system, and he drives rash without recognizing the result of what he's doing,
The consequences, sure.
the consequences. So he gets hurt, his car gets hurt, another car, the tree, the lamppost gets damaged, and other people in other cars get injured or killed. So one person with poor intellect can destroy a lot of the world, of other properties, of other people, etc. Like the drunk driver, and he kills himself and other people and the car and the property in the process. And that's what he's saying, that people who are asuric do. Now, Shankaracharya says that these people have no concept of karma, rebirth, or consequences of their action because they wantonly commit falsities, lies, deceit, harm, because they have alpa buddhi, small intellects. Their minds are purely on their senses, on perception and satisfaction. Only whatever the senses can enjoy is real to them. That's all they really know, as this is what matters. And you see this as you see politics, as you see politicians who just lie left and right just to get themselves votes or positions. People around you, you go to, I've done business with people, I can see the guy lying to me. I
Yep.
can see he's just looking to take advantage of me. And I say, does he not care of the and they don't. They don't have any idea. They just want a few extra bucks. It's not that they have zero intellect. They have some amount. We did this in the last episode. they have some amount of intellect. If they had zero intellect, then they would be like a cow or a lion. The example that we talked about last time was that a cow will eat grass because it's programmed to eat grass and greenery. If you put meat in front of it, the cow will not eat it, even if it's starving. And a lion will eat meat. You put grass and hay in front of it, the lion will not eat it. He'll starve to death. That's how he's programmed. So the scriptures are not meant for human beings or animals, human beings that are devoid of intellect or animals that are devoid of intellect. The scriptures are meant for those who have even some amount of intellect, because you can use that to change the human being to become a better one. So they have, this verse talks about those that have a small intellect, because they make small choices, meager choices, but their choices are always self-serving, whatever can benefit them and their senses. If they had zero intellect, they would have no choices, like the cow or the lion. The scriptures would not address them. Asura's actions are cruel actions. They don't care if they are out for sensual pleasure for a person of the opposite sex. They will say and do things to convince the other person that I really care for you, I really love you, just to be able to get themselves the satisfaction that they're looking for. After which they just dump the other person and move on, regardless of breaking his or her heart and going on to the next. To them, the end justifies the means. The end, which is the goal, is as more important to them than the means that they get there and what happens to the other. So this applies to people, individuals, cultures, and countries. When there is a choice, their only thought, the Asuras, is how can I get what I want? Therefore, cruel actions, I don't mind hurting others as long as I get what I want. Now, apply this to corporations. Enron comes to my mind. Nowadays, a lot of businesses, colleges are teaching what Enron did and how it did it, and how unethical and asuric, demonic, were the actions of corporations such as that.
Right.
So, if you give this some thought, my friends, it'll benefit you, because we're talking not just of these scriptures, but also how to better yourself as an individual, how to better the people around you, and how to change the world. So, Lou, any comments? I know I sort of went
No,
through this very.
8 and 9 were very similar, and it's just basically about the 2 points that I took away from it is they have a disregard for the consequences of the karma of their, and they believe they also project this on everybody else, and they feel it's okay because everybody else is doing it, or everybody else is going to do it to them.
You said it in one sentence, and I took like half an hour to say it.
No, well, it
So
took half
true.
an hour to get me there too. So,
Wonderful.
that's what I took away from it. Yeah, that projection is a big part of it. And we all know people who project their qualities on other people. It's why thieves lock their own doors, right? Because they think
Yes,
everybody is thieves.
that's so true. Yes, yes. And I, as a student of history, I see cultures and countries that have gone into other areas and just raped and pillaged and destroyed and taken for themselves, just to take gold and women from other places, just bring them and use them and throw them away. Food, wealth, gold, women, all this. And it's
Yeah, well,
just so.
your country was beset by the English colonization. And of course, there was the Spanish colonization as well. The world's history is full of this.
Yes, yes. Well, friends, thank you very much. Please send us your comments on Facebook, Messenger, or however you choose to do it. Lou, hats off to Lou, because Lou has us on every
Yeah, we're
media,
everywhere.
social media, wherever, and you can write to us, write to me. I'll be happy to reply as much as I can.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.